I'm Chef Maha, owner of Maha's Cuisine, and today we are going to make chicken with rice, in Arabic jejuruz. And the ingredient for that, we need a whole chicken, I already cleaned and ready to go. And the spices is cinnamon, black pepper, 7 spices and salt, raisin, cashews, walnut and almond. And for the spices that goes with the broth, we need cardamom, bay leaves, cinnamon sticks, ginger and cloves. We need rice and we need onion. So we are going to start boiling the chicken. You have to cover it with water. While we are waiting for the chicken to cook, because we can't do the rice until the chicken is done, we need the broth to cook the rice with it. So and I can't add the spices either, because you know when you boil the chicken, a foam comes up, so you have to clean it before you add the spices. So now I'm not gonna waste any time, so I'm gonna be toasting the cinnamon, the cashews, the walnuts and the almond, and get them ready for, topping. So first I'm gonna add some oil. Got my tray ready to put the nuts on, because you have to have a paper towel to absorb the oil. It's just a quick, a few seconds, and you have to take it out. And I start with the big nuts first, and then I will leave the raisin to the end, because the raisin, maybe I will turn off the stove when I'm toasting. Keep an eye on this, because look, it start getting gold color right away, and it's very tricky. They will get burned so fast. I'm gonna move it because I don't want it to cook too fast, too much, because they are going to be cooked. The hot oil will cook it more. I usually use the whole cashews or half, but today with the staying at home order, I couldn't go get the whole one, so I used the chipped one. So in top what you are doing, so you see I told you that there is something in top, so you have to clean it. So you have to take everything.
What is that?
It's foam, comes with the out of chicken. It tastes, it's not good to keep it. So it's better to take it out. And I'm gonna do it again. It's gonna come out one more time, I think, or 2 more times. I'm gonna put the almond. In this way, when you finish, everything will be ready to display. If you don't like raisin, if you don't like walnuts, almond, you can choose whatever you like. See, all the white stuff has to go. Try to move it around so it will, if anything stuck in the bottom, they will go up. They will float. And you can tell when the chicken is ready, like when you try to cut into it, and it will be easier. But usually it takes like 30 minutes to 40 minutes. It depends how high is your fire. Now I'm gonna add the ginger and 3 bay leaves, cinnamon, and I'm gonna put some cardamom and cloves. So this is the broth that you are going to use to cook the rice, and you can make it soup. You can add to it some rice, and it will be a very delicious chicken soup. You add the onion because The onion, it tastes good with it, and it will take some of the, I don't know what they call it in English, you know, the zankha. Some people, they said that the bay leaves, they just put it for like the smell. But I saw on YouTube, they were talking about the bay leaf and how much is good to break down the fat. So, because they were talking specifically about the bay leaves, when we put it with the chicken, when we boil the meat or the chicken, that it will break down the fat on the chicken or the beef. So that's why I'm adding more. I think it's a good idea, and I think it's right. I'm gonna add the cinnamon. This cinnamon goes very, very good with this dish. Usually we call it cinnamon rice. So I'm gonna put the cinnamon, and I'm gonna put some black pepper. I'm not gonna put too much because I'm gonna add to the rice. So all the spices goes with the rice. But you have to make sure don't put too much in both. Because if you put too much salt and spices in this one and you put on the rice, it will be too spicy and too. So I'm gonna let this cook now. And almost done. I can, even if it's not cooked, fully cooked, I can use the broth now to make the rice. While the chicken is finishing cooking, I can make the rice. So, but you can use the broth when you finish, like the first step, while taking the white foam out. And as you can see, I always keep eye on any of the foam. Now it's the spices what is flowing in top. But still, gonna put some oil, and I'm gonna add 2 cups of rice. I already soaked, they are ready to go. Before I add the broth to it, I'm gonna let it just cook a little bit with the spices that I'm going to add now. So I'm gonna add black pepper, the 7 spices that I told you in my first video, that most of the Arabic or Lebanese dishes, they need the 7 spices. I'm gonna put little salt because I put some salt with the chicken, and you add the cinnamon. Okay, and you keep mix it, you keep mixing it well until the spices stick to the rice. It smells so good. All the spices stick to it, so now it's ready to put the broth in it, in top. Because there are 2 cups of rice, I'm gonna put 3 cups of broth. It's okay if you get some of the spices, it's good with the rice. Okay, those 2 cups, and I still need 1 more. I like to use basmati rice, the long grain, because it's good, it's fluffy. I turn the fire down. I'm gonna try the salt. I didn't put too much salt because I had some with the chicken. It needs more salt. I can tell, but I just want to make sure. So I'm gonna add little bit salt. So if you have any vegetarian family members, you can make the rice, the cinnamon rice. Same thing, but you take the chicken out, you keep it on the side. I usually make it for my daughters. I have 2 daughters vegetarian, and I make the rice with the vegetable broth and put the nuts and the raisin, and it tastes good as well. I'm gonna cover it a little bit so it will get cooked faster. Let me check on the rice. It's bubbling and it's cooking and it smells so good. So now the rice is done, and I just wanna leave it covered until it's ready. I turn the stove off, and we are waiting for the chicken. I think about 5 more minutes this will be ready. You can make them small or big, it depends the way you want it. So for display, I like to display it in a long serving dish. It looks better and it appears very, very nice on your table. So I'm gonna put the rice on the bottom. As I told you, like if you see any of the spices with the rice, it's okay, you can move them. And now I'm gonna add the nuts on top and the raisin. I'm gonna be posting every Saturday a new video, a new dish, and if you want any dish you want to know about, please let me know, and I will see you next Saturday. Bye.